Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission and I have a thrift haul video for you guys today. You may be seeing a couple like thrift haul, like some videos right after another. I'm filming a lot right now and I'm trying to catch up on all the things I'm supposed to be doing. So if you see me posting a little bit more than normal, hey, maybe that means I'm getting my stuff done. So let's hope for that. So I do have quite a few thrift haul videos coming for you guys. I did just do a big Goodwill bins thrift haul, which was like an hour. That's longer for me. Most of my thrift haul videos are more like 30 minutes. But I tell you guys, I list at least 10 items pretty much every day. So some of these smaller thrift hauls, you know, this is not gonna get me through maybe 2 or 3 days with the amount of items here. So, but I do try to break them down into each time that I've gone out or these places that I've gone out to. I tell my husband, I'm like, it's not as much as it looks like. So I do have some nice items here. I went to a Salvation Army. If you guys don't know, most of you do, hopefully, or maybe, I don't know, that I have like a rotation of different items, like different places I go to. In fact, I have a couple in mind that I haven't been to in a while that I might try to go to in the next week or two. But I have the Goodwill bins, which I go to like 2-3 times a month, which really isn't that much compared to a lot of bins people, but that's like an hour, a solid hour away from me. I have Salvation Army, I have regular thrift stores, I have Goodwills, I have all these, I have Savers, I have all these different things. I don't really go to the Savers a whole lot, but I have all these different options. So today it is a Salvation Army full price thrift store, although I don't know what the color is. I really should have seen. I'm like a toss-up whether or not the receipt is in the bag or if I put it in my purse, which then goes into my filing cabinet. So maybe we'll find it along the way. But I do see a couple Harley tags on top here. So Harley usually is a solid pickup if they don't price it too high. However, it's a pretty solid flip for me. So I'll just pick up a Harley. I see this one like hanging here. So I'm going to pick up this one. I did pay $6.99 for this Harley t-shirt. It has a cool graphic on the front, honestly. A lot of times if you're looking for more of the vintage Harleys, there'll be some kind of date somewhere in here. This does not appear to be. Oh, it says made in the USA. Right here. Made in the USA. Not all Harley is. Obviously, there's your Harley Davidson. It's a 2XL, which is actually great. Made in the USA, 100% cotton. And it has a great graphic on the back. I don't see. It says Arbor Vitae, Wisconsin, which makes sense because I am from Wisconsin. Actually, there's a date right there. 2004. There it is. This tiny, tiny little print. Tiny little print underneath there. Arbor Vitae, which I don't even know. I thought that was a tree. I don't know where Arbor Vitae, Wisconsin is, but I guess it says Northern Lights. So I'm assuming it's way up north. Northern Lights. This is pretty. Look at this graphic, okay? And the date is 2004, which does officially make it vintage and Y2K. So I'm assuming that I will get around $25 to $30 for this tee. Now, $6.99, you're like, oh, geez, $6.99 to $25 isn't necessarily the best situation for me. However, when it's Harley Davidson, it's a graphic, it's, vintage, I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's just the fun of finding things for me. And I'm still going to make a profit. This is kind of cool. What are these? The pistons? I don't necessarily know exactly what that means. Like what that is. I think it's like the pistons in the engine, right? But somebody who knows, chime in. But this is great. The graphic is fantastic. Northern Lights, this is beautiful. The Big Eagle, 2004. I am just going to say that's a solid $25 piece for me. I see another Harley Davidson. I'm assuming, yeah, this is a 2XL too. So it's probably the same person. I was just maybe at the right place at the right time. Now again, $6.99. You know, some people will say probably at their thrift store it would be priced up more. And some would say maybe they got lucky and it priced down. $6.99 honestly seems like a fair price to me for a Harley Davidson t-shirt. So I'm definitely not complaining about that at all. Harley Davidson motorcycles, it has the flames. If you find stuff with the flames, you want to put that in with your description or even your title. Here's a nice, it says Farmington Hills, Michigan. So sometimes there are people who collect the location. So maybe they might collect all Wisconsin locations, or they might collect places they've been, or just really anywhere. They want a Harley t-shirt from everywhere. So putting in the location and the state is something that you want to do. I don't see a date on this one. You know, I'm just assuming that it probably is dated in a similar time frame. Ooh, this says made in USA. Hanes Beefy, which is usually a good sign on a Harley t-shirt. So I might honestly have to do a little bit more research. Made in USA, Hanes Beefy. If you find a Hanes Beefy, usually for vintage items or Y2K items, that does elevate it a little bit. So stay tuned. Maybe this will be in a sold or a short video where maybe it was worth a little bit more. But for now, I'm saying $6.99 to $25. This is $2.99. This looks like a style-based piece to me. Oh yeah, this is a paper tag. You can't even really tell. But I talked paper tag. $2.99. This is made in Mexico, size medium. This is the Y2K tank top that a lot of people are looking for, and I just picked them up. If you can get the double-sided lace part, so at the top and the bottom, that's really what people are looking for, but it needs to be vintage or Y2K. So it has to be an older piece. These are going for $20 plus or minus. So at $2.99, that's honestly a good piece, but it has to be older. Oh, here's my, doesn't say, this is my Salvation Army's receipts are kind of plain. It doesn't say what color. I did get a couple half-offs here, but it doesn't say which color. It wasn't purple because nothing for $5.99 was half off. So I paid $5.99. This is Ralph Lauren. Size large. This is 100% linen, and that is fantastic, especially for the time period. This is obviously more of a basic piece, although I love this crochet knit. Look at that. This is obviously all day, summer, beachy, vacation, maybe even like hippie, festival, country concert type of vibe there. So I'm guessing this is, I'm going to list this probably at $29 and land in the $25 range. Again, you know, sometimes when you're buying at full price for some of these, I'm okay with making the 12, 15, 18. Whereas when I do my bins videos, I usually take 75 cents and I turn it into 20 or 25. And, you know, it just depends on where I'm going and what I'm picking up. This looks like another, let's see if it's Y2K. Made in the USA, the limited. This is definitely a Y2K piece again. This one was $3.99. See that lacy? It's the lace on the top and the bottom is ideal. If it's super vintage, then, you know, you can pull off just the top part. But these camis are going for $20 for me. Pretty consistently. Again, though, it has to be vintage Y2K. Oh my gosh. If you've been watching my videos long enough, you know that my thrift hauls are usually 1 or 2 weeks behind. And I've got mom mushy brain, which means I forget what I pick up yesterday, let alone a week ago. So when I go through some of these hauls and I part them out in the background, I get really excited when I remember the things that I was picking up. And even the cashier was super excited because she just thought this was the cutest piece ever. Well, Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. You see this? There's a bunny. Is that a duck? Yeah, it's a duck, a bird, the sunshine. Oh my gosh. Let me zip this up so you guys can see. So the tag says, I thought it said like made in. It's definitely a vintage tag. San York Fair Trade, which usually fair trade, yeah, made in Peru. Fair trade, made in Peru. I know it's kind of hard to see. Fair trade usually, from my understanding, is from, you know, companies and countries who are trying to, like, support, like, small businesses or people who can't find jobs, or, I don't know. I don't know 100% what it's, I just know fair trade is good and that it's good for everybody. Look how cute this is. Oh my God, you guys. I just can't. This is like the cutest thing ever. It usually is like handmade, or some of the materials come from people who hand make them. I could not leave this behind. A little cactus. I honestly do not have any idea. I do remember looking up comps, and since I have my little computer here, I'm going to do this really quick. Let's see. San York Fair Trade. There was not, honestly, a lot of comps for this. So I don't know. This was made in Peru, 100% cotton. It's a fair trade brand, which means it supports like some of those initiatives. Even the back has this cute little chicken. I just can't. Okay, I just love this so much. What am I going to get for it? I think this is going to be a very unique piece. If it was handmade in Peru, that would be even better. But made in Peru, I don't know. Stay tuned again. You guys tell me, do you love that piece as much as I do? Because I was just obsessed. The cashier was like, this is amazing. I don't necessarily know what it's going to go for. But I do know the details and the design and it being fair trade. Like I said, I don't completely understand the fair trade part. I just know it's good. I know it's good for everyone. So that is a good thing. This is Dansko, but it's not your typical Dansko. Don't know what Dansko. It's kind of over the price here. They kind of wrote it right on the, here we go. Dansko. This is a little bit different of a Dansko. Normally, a lot of the Dansko shoes are a like nursing or medical clog. This is more of a loafer. Does it say size 38, leather upper? Has a couple, the leather on this is fantastic. Look at this. You always want to look at condition, cracks, breaks. You want to make sure that everything is connected. These are in fantastic condition. But I'm not sure what they're going to go for. Dansko's used to be like a really high dollar, like $40, $50 sale. They've gotten a little bit more saturated, and I would say it's probably a $25 to $30 sale. Unless, I mean, those are in fantastic condition. So a lot of the Dansko shoes, because they are more of like a workwear or a medical clog, they're worn because our medical field is working really hard. So there might not be a good resale value there. So just be really particular and make sure the condition is there with Dansko especially. Now this is a brand I haven't sold in a while, but it is a fantastic brand, well, that I love to sell. NAOT. Made in Israel, size 39, genuine leather. This is a classic Mary Jane type of shoe. Very, very classic. Great condition. Look at the soles on this. Did anybody even walk in these? I don't know. NAOT. Let's just look it up just for fun. NAOT. Mary Jane. And we said these were a 39, which is a pretty good size. These are in great condition. The brand in general is a great brand to pay attention to. N-A-O-T. Naote. Here's one that sold yesterday. Ooh, these are my shoes. $39.56. Mary Jane is like this open part with the strap right here. Makes it a Mary Jane like type of shoe. That one went for $55. So you're looking at $30 for a pair of N-A-O-T shoe. These are honestly in really, really good condition. I was very lucky to get them in such great condition. Here's another brand that I do love to sell in shoes, Earth. Now you guys know mostly I get my shoes at the bin, so it's kind of unusual that I have this many shoes at a regular shoe place, but a regular store, a regular shoe place. Earth. These are like obviously strappy. People love when they have the adjustable straps. If there was one even around the ankle, that would be better, but there's a strap here and a strap here. One more here would be even better, but they love to be able to adjust them. This is a size, it says right on there, leather upper. I won't bore you when I find, here it is. Size 8. Earth is a pretty solid shoe brand. They only asked $3.99 for this. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't understand where some of the pricing comes from, but that's a solid brand. And they pick up at $3.99. This is Joseph Siebel. Is this a new brand to me? Here we go. Joseph Siebel. This is like a clog, a pretty classic clog with the black and the brown. I don't think I've ever sold this brand, so let's look it up. Joseph. Joseph. Yeah. And where is the size here? Ooh. These are a size 40. So, you know, I'm going to do a video on figuring out these searches and solds, because a lot of times, honestly, putting in a certain size or color or style can definitely change what the solds look like. And if you find a certain style or color or size, it could elevate your item substantially. So I'm looking up this brand with this size, which is size 40, which is European size. And just looking at the solds here, I probably should just put in clog here. Most of the solds are in the $30 range. Joseph, I don't even know how to say it. Siebel? Joseph Siebel. Looks like actually the clogs, here's my clog right here, doing comps. They're calling it a mule clog, which actually makes sense because you slide right in. It sold for $34 plus shipping. Mule clog, in excellent condition. Look at the soles. This is where you want to check your shoes. If you have like a big hole right here, or it looks very worn, then unless it's an excellent brand, you don't want to waste your time with it. I mean, you can. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business, but I try to keep my items in good condition. And that's not to say you can't. You just have to be very upfront with what you're selling. So make sure it's very clear in your title, your description, your condition drop down when they ask what kind of condition the item is in. You just want to make sure that you're very honest, because there are definitely flawed items that people want. Just be very honest with people. That is just my motto, because I don't like misleading people. That's just me. Not to say any of you would, but I'm just saying just be upfront with people, and I think your customers will hopefully appreciate that a little more. Here's another Harley Davidson, another $6.99 2XL. This is all the same person. Made in USA, 100% cotton. Let's see what this one says. 105 years. So if you know some of these bigger brands, 105 years, aren't they up to 125-year anniversary? Harley Davidson motorcycles. Let's see if it says anything on the back. It says Palatine. Yeah, this says 2007. So that's almost 20 years old. So it's not vintage. This is another cool graphic. City Limits, Chicagoland. The sweet graphic. I would put, obviously, motorcycle, put double-sided graphic tee, and then put the location in there. Again, another $25 to $30 sale. I'm guessing most of those Harley Davidson, I will start at $29 and then just see how that goes. This is definitely a style-based piece. Let's see if there's a brand in here. What does it say? Made in Guatemala, size small, polyester blend. I don't even actually see a brand in here, which is unusual. However, this is a very classic Y2K style dress. The baby doll cut with the halter tie around the neck. And this is a dress. It's a shorter dress. I would say it's probably a knee length or shorter with this floral print. This is Y2K all the way. These style-based dresses are going for $25 to $30, $35. You know, it depends on how you stack all of those factors. But this baby doll cut, the halter, the paper tag, the made in Guatemala, I'm sure is Y2K. It would be great if there was a brand just to kind of do a little bit more research on. But those are going for $25, $30. What is this? This feels really soft. Oh my gosh. Norm Thompson. Oh my gosh. 100% alpaca made in Peru, size extra large. Now I wonder if I did get this half off or I really did pay $8.99 because that is a little bit much for me. But honestly, 100% alpaca, this is like honestly, this is one of the softest materials. I guess I didn't realize how soft an alpaca was. I very rarely find 100% alpaca. I find a lot of alpaca blends. You know, I find a lot of blends, but it's unusual for me to find 100% alpaca. Escape from the Ordinary, Portland, Oregon. So let's look this up. This is, so a lot of times with men's, I'm assuming this is a men's cardigan. You want the men's cardigan with the V-neck and the buttons. That's what a lot of men are looking for. This is like golfer all day. Country club, preppy, academia. There's so many style words. Look at this, plaid. This is fantastic. Let's just look up just this brand. Now, again, when you are like kind of stacking your item, like your reasons to pick up an item, they're 100% alpaca. We'll see if this Norm Thompson is a reason to pick it up, but you're still looking at the fact that it's a men's cardigan with the V-neck and the cardigan buttons down the front. You have this very classic blue and green plaid. You know, all those things elevate the item even beyond just, I mean, the Norm Thompson. We'll see if that adds any value right here. Norm Thompson. And it's alpaca. And again, those are things like when you're looking at your sold, you really have to, you know, separate yourself because the Norm Thompson might not be worth anything. But when you put in alpaca cardigan, then you might elevate it. I mean, alpaca is going to elevate virtually anything. Now, this is a little bit out of season, of course, unless you're doing like some spring or early summer golf, or maybe you're going early in the morning, you would wear this. Otherwise, it's going to be more of a fall and winter piece. Now, I see very similar. They put in the keyword grandpa, and it's $35 sold. I would guess, I'm going to list this at $49. So many different things to stack here. 100% alpaca, made in Peru. It's a great size at extra large. The plaid, the V-neck cardigan. This is like stack on stack. Those types of items are awesome because you can literally just sit there and stack all the reasons why you picked it up and all the reasons why it's going to sell. So this is another vintage Y2K item. I tell you guys a lot. This little tag, it says JME, LME. It doesn't matter. But it does also say size large, made in USA. It's a paper tag. This, again, is a great style-based piece. Oh my gosh, I better get this up. Look how beautiful. Purple is trending. The black and purple is very much fairy goth, whimsy, maybe even vampire witchy type of vibes. This is like a very pretty Y2K. This could be worn at prom. It's got the ties around back and the baby doll style. These are all things that you guys want to be looking out for in a style-based Y2K dress. This is fairy. This is a 30, I don't know. Some of those dresses are really hard to find. So I may price that up at $49 or $50. I mean, $49 and $50, but you know what I mean? I might start out a little bit higher because some of those designs are harder to find. That was a great style-based dress. This is bread and butter. So you can learn all kinds of things here. Torrid one. This is a beautiful color right now for spring and summer. This really nice bright green. The eyelet details here. It has a really nice flattering cut for us plus size ladies. It is lined, which is also nice. You know, Torrid, baby doll. The color is really nice. Those are $20 to $25 pieces for me. That's a bread and butter that I've been selling for a very long time. And I personally wear myself, and I love myself. No, not that I love myself. I myself love wearing Torrid. Not that I love myself. That came out wrong. But you know what I mean? I love Torrid. I wear a lot of their pieces. I have tops, I have bottoms, I have all kinds of things from Torrid. As a plus size lady myself, all the way, I'm all about it. Another style-based piece. Again, the brand really doesn't matter, but if you get this paper tag and it says made in USA, size large, it looks like another prom dress. This one, again, look at this. See if I can get it. You see those little like beaded accents? It's not coming up as much as I would want, but this is another fantastic style-based Y2K vintage dress here. Again, I'll get this listed pretty quickly. Hopefully some of that comes up at some point. All those same style-based keywords. Vintage, fairy goth, Y2K. Cut Loose. This is a brand that I still like picking up. Cut Loose. It's more beachy, lag and look. Let's see if this is linen. Usually a lot of the pieces are more of like a gauzy cotton linen. This one's a little bit brighter of a piece, which is nice. Tencel, lyocell, and nylon. So Cut Loose does have more material-based items. This is a beautiful bright yellow. I only paid $4.99 for this. You know, this is, again, a $25 piece. We're getting to the end already. What is this, though? This looks style-based to me. Oh, yeah. Robbie B, size extra large. Made in Sri Lanka. This gives me witchy, emo, academia, teacher vibes all the way. This dress, I do believe it's Y2K. I don't even think they make this Robbie B anymore, but you guys chime in. Teacher, academia, all those style-based. You know, a lot of my dresses, when you stack those things, you can start at $29 pretty confidently. And then if you have a lot of things to stack, you're looking at maybe $39, $49, $59. But always stack the reasons. You don't want to just pick up a dress because it looks like a nice dress. Because unfortunately, even if it's the most gorgeous dress in the world, it doesn't mean it's going to resell for a lot. Torrid, you guys know Torrid, a million times over. Size 1, bread and butter all day. A lot of people are passing on basic Torrid. If it's a basic Torrid, and this is a sports bra for me, and it's expensive, don't waste your time. If they're pricing up basic Torrid items at $7, $8, $9, it honestly is probably not worth the flip. If you find more substantial pieces, dresses, cardigans, coats, and you're still in the 5, 6, 7 range, then you might be in an area that a price range that makes more sense. This now looks like, I'm going to guess this was half off. I love this brand, and it's literally nothing to write home about, but I love their items. Bloom Chic. Do you have any other plus size ladies out there? I don't even know. I think they only do plus size, but I'm not sure. But they have the cutest things. Maxi? Just assuming. Brand new with tags. Plus, oh yeah, it says right on here. Sizes 10 to 30. So 10's really not a plus size, but they must limit what sizes they do. Bloom Chic is not an expensive brand. However, I will say as a plus size lady who talks to and sells a lot of plus size item, Bloom Chic is a brand that a lot of women really like to wear. It's kind of like the brand Knox Rose that I tell you guys about. Knox Rose is not a $1 million brand, but they make really cute pieces and people like to buy them. So it's like one of those bread and butter brands. If you find at a garage sale for 50 cents or $1, or if you find at the bins, you might be able to flip it for $20 or $25, but it's not going to make you $1 million. So, you know, sometimes you guys have to make those kind of decisions, which I struggle with every day. So if you struggle with those sometimes, don't get hard on yourself. You know, even as someone who's been selling literally for 14 years on eBay and other platforms, I still question my pickups. I have really good days where I'm like just killing it. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this, I love that. Nope, that's a no. And then some days where I question everything, and that drives me crazy. I'm just going to be honest with you. Drives me crazy because I'm like, I've been doing this for so long, I should know what I'm doing. However, the market, the trends, it always changes. So part of our job as resellers and thrifters is to understand those changes and to kind of roll with the punches, because brands I used to sell a million years ago, nobody cares about now. And even things that I sold a year or two ago, the market isn't as good. So something Torrid used to be a $30 sale. Now it's like a $20 sale. That's just the way it goes. So that's why we do these videos. I literally listen to dozens of resellers every week in order to learn and grow. And even in my own business, I learn things all the time, trying to understand all those things. The market, the trends, the styles, the brands, all those things. So hopefully that was helpful in some way. And I feel like those were really good. We had some good brands, bread and butter, style-based pickups. So I'm not really mad. You guys ever get tired of me saying that? I'm like, I'm not mad about that. I like it. It's great. Maybe I should be angry about something sometime. I think maybe I'm going to do that sometime. But for now, I'm okay with this haul. It's good for me. There's a lot of profit. There's a lot of opportunity there. So I am happy with that. Thank you guys for being here. And Hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.